Happy Freedom Day, critical citizens. On April 27, South Africa celebrates 1994's first democratic vote. A triumph for struggle heroes like Pixley Kaisa Kaseme, John Langalibalele Dube, Owar Tambo, and many others. Picture them planting a tree of freedom, knowing that future generations will enjoy its shade. But here's the question sparking debate today. Has the present day ANC chopped down that tree? In today's episode, we are learning a new tool to unpack this question. It's called argument from analogy. Because clarity, not sides, is what we are chasing. Let's unpack it. Argument from analogy is where you compare two cases to make a point. If the two cases are similar, what's true for the one might be true for the other. But it's important to test it. Imagine a farmer planting a tree, knowing their kids and not them will enjoy the fruits of that tree. A selfless act, I must say. Now compare that to the struggle heroes. Kaisa Kaseme, Dube, Tambo. They fought injustices of the past in an effort to build a new and free South Africa. And they did that knowing very well that they may not get to see this free South Africa. The similarity between these two cases is that both sacrificed for future generations. Now, in an effort to test whether the analogy works, it's important to look very closely at the two cases. Check similarities, check differences, and weigh them up against the other and take it from there. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Some say the ANC that took over in 1994 is chopping down the tree. They are failing to deliver the shade of jobs, the shade of equality. But others disagree. So let's look closely at this. The one side says the ANC of today is really failing or letting down the struggle heroes. They point to corruption scandals, scandal after scandal, the so-called state capture, high levels of unemployment, load shedding. The list is long. They say it's like the sun who is neglecting the tree to let it rot. The other side is saying, no, the tree is still standing. They do acknowledge that it may not be perfect, but it's still standing. They point to the fact that since 1994, there has been 7 free and fair elections. No fights, no coups. They say millions of South Africans have access to social grants. They even point to BEE. They say they do understand that it's not perfect, but it has lifted some South Africans. It's been 31 years since the first elections in 1994. Now, depending on which side of this divide, of this debate you stand, if you're standing on the side that says the ANC is chopping down the tree, you may say 31 years is long enough. The shade should be big enough by now for all of us. The fruit should be enough by now for all of us. But if on the other hand you say you're on the side of the divide, of the debate, that says the tree is still standing, you may point to all the achievements of the past 31 years. And you may also say 31 years is not nearly enough to undo hundreds of years of all those injustices. So what's the verdict? What's happening with Freedom's tree? Is the ANC nurturing it, or is it busy chopping it down? Your call. Drop your take in the comments down below, and let's get critical together.